Okay, welcome to episode 178 of the Twim Show. Today I'm going over the news and updates in the digital marketing space from the week of September 11 through 15, 2023. I forgot to update the show notes there. Anyway, first up, we have announcement from TikTok. TikTok has officially launched TikTok Shop. I'm unsure if I had covered the launch, or not the covered the launch, but the update when TikTok Shop was in beta. If not, I missed. Again, there's so many things I can squeeze into a podcast like this or a show like this. So what this basically means is Gen Zs are using TikTok a lot, and then obviously people were looking, and businesses were kind of putting products up there, and then they would click on it and they would go to Shopify and they will check out from there. Now TikTok Shop brings it all into the TikTok app itself, and it's big for TikTok. This is where Instagram failed. And TikTok Shop, by the way I read, I feel like it's also threatening or going to take a slice of the e-com market share from Amazon. Because not only is TikTok just going to allow you as a creator or as the e-commerce store owner to sell your products on TikTok, you can actually do fulfilled by TikTok. This is where it's getting head to head with Amazon. And remember, it's big with Gen Z, right? The hashtag TikTok made me buy it is quite popular. The next up is also, obviously Google should also be threatened because, Gen Zers are spending more time in TikTok, and TikTok has become a big discovery platform for Gen Zers. The other thing is, TikTok also has this affiliate thing built into the platform. The way I read it and the way I understand, I haven't used it because I don't have an e-com store. I wish I had that I could play around with. But the way I read it is like creators who have 5,000 followers and 18 years old, they can actually promote someone else's product on the TikTok platform, and they will automatically go and get commissions. Can you imagine how big this platform is going to be? And mark my words, it will become very big. This is where Instagram failed. Instagram had all the things, but they missed this whole little part of affiliation. Now what's going to happen is you can go sign up. Anyone can go sign up, get an affiliate account on TikTok, and then promote any product they like. And anyway, people are doing it. You look at YouTube, people are already doing it, and the way they track it is, click my link. And that's how affiliate programs are working. And I'm probably going on a rant for too long, but lastly, very quickly, I'm going to say it, is the way the affiliate tracking has been broken, right? Because if you look at how affiliate works on YouTube, and that also works with ClickFunnels, so all the platforms out there, is like you click the link, it takes you to the seller's platform, and then obviously it gets passed that it's from your account, it gets passed through a UTM parameter, which is basically all those extra things, tokens or key value pair that gets appended to the end of the URL with a question mark and then blah 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 blah. And that's how they track it. And then obviously it's also setting a cookie and then doing all those things. But TikTok being on the platform, it is going to be massive. I just tell you, mark my words. Of course, if the prediction doesn't come true, you can also say, hey, you were wrong, which is fine. But I feel like this is going to be huge. Okay. Oh, before I jump into the away from the TikTok update, one thing I didn't cover about TikTok is TikTok has actually launched a result of a study where this says traditional model of attribution is actually giving the return on investment or return on ad spend on TikTok a lower dollar amount than it should be. Again, it's not covered because it's not really news. It's just TikTok saying, hey, don't use last click. And yes, you should not be using last click if you're not, because you should be using data driven. And it seems like TikTok platform doesn't have data driven yet, but they are suggesting you use a different attribution models. And I agree with TikTok that last click is going to give you a very incorrect and inconsistent result. It's just not, whether it's on TikTok or whether it's on Google, you should not be using last click just because customer buying journey is not linear anymore. Okay, I'm going to stop there. But if you have any questions about last click or attribution, definitely ask me. This is one of my favorite topic, and we can take it offline and we can talk in details a lot more. Okay. Next up is Amazon has launched a AI tool to help sellers create listing content. This is all you need to, I guess, know. But the another thing you should know is that it seems like they're claiming that, if the AI system, the generative AI model, can actually improve and enrich product knowledge based on the specifications you're providing. So for example, if it can figure out that the table is round, if specification lists a diameter or infer the color style of a shirt from its image. So basically it's not just like spitting on, it's an AI plus is what I would say, right? If your AI, I mean, I haven't seen it in action yet, but if the AI system can kind of figure out, hey, looks like they're giving the dimensions, it's not square anymore, it's a round. So it's going to probably write a description that's saying, this is a round table that can sit 4 people in a circle, things like that. Hope that helps. Go ahead and check it out if you're selling on Amazon. But then again, are you going to sell on TikTok or are you going to sell on Amazon? That's the question for you. Okay. Suspended Google advertisers need to complete their verification before they can appeal. That's the news from Google that starting 2023, if you are suspended, you need to first go ahead and complete your business verification, and then Google will allow you to do an appeal and to see if they will reopen your account or not. And to appeal process for advertiser verification, you need to have a DUNS number, which is basically a unique number that gets assigned to your business. And if it's an individual account, you need to give your social security number. I would say if you're a business, other than that, why are you running ads? Go ahead, register an LLC, get a DUNS number. You don't want to give your social security number to Google. You do not know how what the data practices are, which should be pretty good. Nevertheless, you don't want to give out your social security number unless you have to. Okay, get a DUNS number. It's easy, it's free. They're going to try to upsell you some stuff. If you do not know how to get it, Google the word DUNS number, and it's going to Dun and Bradstreet is going to pop up. Go ahead and get a free number. I believe it's free. It used to be free because I have gotten it for 2 of my businesses, right? And that was a while ago. If for some reason they charge you, because I remember last time I was doing it, they were trying to upsell me all these other bells and whistles. I didn't need it. I just got a DUNS number. I'm happy with it. It's been working for us, and we have done some government contract on one of the businesses, so I know it works. Okay, and if you're struggling to get your results from your YouTube ads, maybe the creative guidance AI from YouTube can help. Again, it seems like AI-based updates these days, but what Google is saying, obviously it's the early phase, but they're saying their creative guidance can take a video and can tell you, hey, do you have a brand logo that shows up within the first 5 seconds of the ad? Is the video ad the recommended length for its marketing objective? I like that. Does the video ad use a high quality human voiceover? I really like that. And the other thing that comes back is the aspect ratio. Does the video ad group includes all 3 video orientations: horizontal, vertical, and square? And I've been looking at running YouTube ads lately. I've spent I think I spent more time than I should have. In fact, I was looking at YouTube ads, some stuff on attribution and cookies and all the things, how the things get tracked. That's a story for another day. And I like this. I've looked at all the things, how to write a YouTube script last week, and we've created a script for our campaign that we're gonna launch. We have looked at durations and everything. I really didn't know these 4 things. So having some sort of a help from outside kind of tell me, hey, seems like your video duration is off. Go ahead and do something about it. It will be helpful. Whether it works or not will remain to be seen, but I like it. It's a helper tool. Okay. Now, going into the SEO front, Google is saying don't stuff low quality content at the bottom of your e-commerce category pages. What are category pages? Category pages are basically, say you sell shoes, so that's a category page. And sometimes people, what they do is to make a more SEO content or to make rank higher, they're gonna stuff a lot of useless content at the bottom of the page, thinking, hey, this is going to rank us higher. And Google is coming out, Google's Gary Ellis is coming out and says, please don't do that. First of all, these are auto-generated, low-quality, repeated blurbs of text over and over again on all your category pages. It just looks silly, even for an average person, and it's not going to help you at all. And you got to wait till the last update, which we are talking about helpful content update, and you're going to kind of be able to piece together why this matters. Okay, next up is Google saying, the meta description length does not matter for SEO, right? This discussion happened on Twitter, which is also known as X, or X, which used to be known as Twitter. And John Mueller just says, hey, length of meta descriptions does not matter for Google search ranking algorithm. However, meta descriptions are still important for SEO as they can influence click-through rates. And this was in response to someone that says, this SEO professional is saying, hey, one of my clients say 200 to 300 characters not good for meta descriptions, make it 155 to 160 characters according to some Google algorithm, right? So the client saying, we have heard from another SEO professional, we need to have our meta description between 155 to 160, which I kind of know, because I think there are tools out there that's going to say, hey, your SEO meta description is more than 160 characters. It should be ideally be 155 to 160. I know this because I've used that one of those tools, but John is saying, look, meta description doesn't really matter. We don't really use that as a ranking factor. And the other news is that John Mueller is saying, look, there is no such thing as back to the same for search rankings after a site revamp. What does that mean? It basically means that sometimes when you do a site revamp, your rankings will either stay the same, maybe it will go down, or maybe it will go up, right? Most of the time, it will not stay up. It will either most of the time it's either go up or go down. So there is no specific guarantee how your ranking is going to happen, how long it's going to take to stabilize, and things like that. So having said that, my personal 2 cents will be that before you even start to revamp, and some of us, we get excited. I know I do. Where if I'm doing a revamp, I was like, start working with UI UX, I start dumping my idea, what I want the site to look, I want what the customer journey is going to look like, things like that. And then we start working with our designer, and they build the design, the framework, and then we go to the developer and say, build this website. If you have a site that's ranking high, and if you need to change it, I would say start working with an SEO professional at the get-go. Right, have them take an inventory, figure out what content are ranking, what words are ranking, and things like that, because design plays a role, right? Design plays a role a big time, especially when it comes to and I believe it's the next update. I just looked at the notes. It's that the core web vital metrics, right? Interaction to next paint, FID is going away. But design plays a big role, and you want to do it. And I remember many years ago, this should be about 8 or 10 years ago, I was at an event where a SEO professional was there presenting, and she was sharing how for a large enterprise client, what they did was they took down all the SEO stuff, they looked at it, and they figured out what pages they need to keep, how they need to do it, what they need to do. A lot of about a week. I would say maybe a week, maybe a month, lot of worth of analysis went in before they even started designing the new website, putting it into a frame like Figma or Adobe XD. I hope this helps if you're considering updating your website. Okay, next up. Google saying, again, John Mueller, he's saying fixing INP issues won't improve your search rankings. What is INP? INP is basically input interactivity, which measures how responsive a page is to user input by selecting one of the single longest interactions that occur when a user visits a page. Now, let me break it down for you. In short, INP basically means when the page is loading on your browser, how long does it take for you to put your mouse cursor into one of those, if there's a form field, how long does it take? Is it like, sometimes the page will load up, like especially those spammy news sites where, it's going to load up and it's going to load up a bunch of ads all over the place. And it's up, but you still cannot like look around and do a lot of things. So that's what INP is basically there. And it is one of the 3 metrics that is being used for Core Web Vitals. Now, John is saying, look, yes, you can improve INP, and how you can improve. I'm going to put a link in the this show notes. So go ahead and click on that and figure out and do it on your own, or get your web developer or web guy or gal to do it for you. But where I'm going with it is like, it's going to lead into better user experience overall, right? So the question for you is, do you really want to spend the resources to go fix INP? I think you should. Again, most of us will not have a website that's really spammy. The sites that are will always be like that. But it's still worthwhile for you to check INP and see what the numbers are and then go from there. Okay, that brings me to the last update of this week, which is Google has announced the September 2023 Helpful Content System update. Remember I told you, wait till the last update when I was talking about stuffing useless content at the bottom of the category pages. This is what it is all about. So what you need to know, obviously it started off on September 14th. It's going to take about 2 weeks to roll out, and we will know when it's completed. By Google is going to update and the documentation page, and obviously yours truly is going to bring it to the show. The 3 things you need to know from this is that Google has kind of loosened their guidance on machine generated content, right? Previously they said you cannot use at all for helpful content algorithm. Now it says, yeah, you can. Basically what they're saying is we're going to look at the usefulness of the content, right? That EAT thing coming back into the whole thing. We're going to look into by the way, the first E of EAT is experience. They added it recently. So again, going back to the last, which is fixing the INP issues will not just improve your rankings, but it will actually help you. Now coming back here, so obviously you want to have helpful content that is written for humans, not SEO only, right? This whole industry is focused on creating content that's going to help people rank higher, and Google is really cracking down on that. Next is you need to know is, and obviously probably you're not doing it, but a lot of people seems to be doing is they're hosting third-party content on subdomains or on a section of a main domain. So allow me to explain this to you. So say I am CNN.com, and I'm very popular. At least I get quite a bunch of traffic and I rank higher. So what I choose to do is I rent it out to my friend. They say, hey, I'm going to give you a subdomain. Let's just say he's a coach. So coach.cnn.com, and that subdomain has all his or her content, with the hopes that some of my ranking power is going to get transferred over to ranking authority, or my domain authority is going to get kind of transferred over to coach.cnn.com, right? That's one way. Or maybe I say, you know what, I'm cnn.com, I'm going to create a section called /coach, and all the content is going to be from my friend, and I'm hoping that everything that is the domain authority and all the ranks that I have, is some of it are going to get passed over to that folder, that /coach. Now Google is cracking down to the point where even Google's Gary Elias actually wrote a LinkedIn post 4 days ago now. No, not 4 days ago, 2 days ago. He's basically, this is what he has written. We have heard and also noticed that some sites rent out their subdomains or sometimes even subdirectories to third parties, typically without any oversight over the content that's hosted on those new, generally low quality microsites that have nothing to do with the parent site. In fact, the microsites are rarely ever linked from the parent sites, which don't actually want to endorse these often questionable sites. The only reason the owners of the shady microsites rent the subspaces is to manipulate such results. Boom. So, and I remember covering this, and I'm telling you, you think you're smart and Google is not going to get the hang of this, and you can manipulate search rankings and do black hat tactics. Please don't do it. When Google drops the hammer, you are screwed. Okay, and this is what it is. So, this goes to again prove my point. I know none of my listeners are doing this, but this goes to prove Google will figure out sooner or later. So, it's always best to take and do things the right way. Excuse me. Lastly, Google has added these warnings on attempts to fake updates to pages and faking freshness. What does that mean? Google added this line. Are you changing the date of pages to make them seem fresh when the content has not substantially changed? Under the avoid creating search engine first content section, I see this personally. I've seen this a lot of times when they were just going to go change the date and last published, last edited, and this thinking, oh, Google is going to go ahead and say, oh, this is a fresh content, let me go update it. So it seems like what's happening is Google is actually comparing the old version and the new version, and they're going to decide whether it's going to be a substantial change or not. So folks, before I sign off for this week, I want you to know something. I want you to know that it's not a good idea to try to game Google. Play the game right. Create helpful content. Create good content, and you will rank higher sooner or later. Right? Trying to game the system or trying to create content that are only search engine friendly so you can be number one, it doesn't work. It's just temporary even if you get to the top. Okay. If you are unsure what helpful content system is or helpful content update is, I ask you to read the show notes, because I've written a blurb on what this is all about, because then I don't want to obviously drag on this show for any longer than is needed. Other than that, this is your host Sajid Islam signing off. Until next week, take care. Bye bye.